With these attorney, let's see. Okay, on the record, I don't have a file from this morning. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ally Diet, file number 23-02911. Okay. Can you unmute your device, Mr. Diet?
I'm sorry, I thought the other question.
Okay, Mr. Gia, today's the date set for an arraignment on a probation violation. I do have a request in summons for probation violation. It alleges that you tested positive for alcohol on February 28th, 2024 with an ETG 12,858 nanograms per milliliter, and on March 7th, 2024 with an ETG 10,354 nanogram per milliliter at EverHealth. You have the right to have a contested hearing on those violations. You have the right to have the prosecution and probation department put forth evidence to establish by a preponderance of that evidence whether or not you are in violation of your probation status. If your probation status has been violated, your probation can be revoked. You can be sentenced to jail time. You understand that? Mr. Giat, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what I just said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you also can have oversight added to your probation status, including a sober link or outpatient treatment if necessary, or I can extend your probation status if necessary. You have the right to be represented by an attorney during this violation. Did you want to request a court-appointed counsel to represent you for the violation?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? I said yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We do have Mr. Lee present on Zoom. We'll put you in a private meeting room with him. We'll set this for a probation violation hearing, and you need to appear in person. April 30th. At what time? 1:30. At 1:30, okay?
April 30th, 1:30. Okay.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in a private meeting room with Mr. Lee.
All right.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Walker, file number 24-00582 and 583, counsel appearance.
Bob Marshall on behalf of the people.
Mr. Lee is probably representing him, is that correct?
I think he said.
Okay, are the people moving to dismiss this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Walker, you're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Okay, on the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cameron Haynes, file number 24-00680, counsel appearance.
Bob Marshall on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Judge Edith Willenbeck on behalf of Mr. Cameron Hayes.
Okay, so the parties discussed the offer that was extended. For the record, Mr. Marshall, can you please tell me what the offer was?
Yes, it was for the defendant to plead guilty as charged with a kilobrute and no upfront jail and 769 status if eligible.
Okay, and Ms. Willenbreck, how does your client want to proceed on this?
My client, Mr. Haynes, would like to plead to the charge according to the agreement that Mr. Marshall has just read.
Okay, the agreement though is for him to plead guilty. There's no guarantee he's getting 769.4A. There's also no guarantee that he will be getting no upfront jail. That's up to the judge.
And he does understand that.
Okay, you understand that, Mr. Haynes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, you have the following rights, and these rights are rights that you would need to give up before you could enter a guilty plea to the charge of domestic violence. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove you're guilty at a trial by proving each element of the charge of domestic violence beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand your right so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can appear at your trial and remain silent by right and not have the silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, and question any of the witnesses that the prosecutor calls to testify against you at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charge of domestic violence. You also can waive your silence at your trial and testify on your own behalf. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to give up each of those rights today?
No, ma'am.
Has there been any promises made to you in exchange for you giving up those rights and entering a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
You understand, however, that there is a Killebrew agreement, that the Killebrew is agreement about how you're going to be sentenced. The court is not a party to that agreement. I will determine how I'm going to sentence you at the time of your sentencing. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, there is a no contact order. You made reference earlier on when I gave you your final pretrial date about a concern about going home. That no contact order will continue even after you enter your guilty plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No.
You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer or put this conviction on a future job application.
Yes, ma'am.
A guilty plea could also have impact on travel or immigration status you may be seeking. So you may want to go up to Canada on vacation. They could deny you entry based on this conviction. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As to the charge of domestic violence, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, counsel?
Mr. Haynes, on the March 7th, 2024, did you commit an unwanted touching on your girlfriend, Tanisha?
Yes.
Judge, I believe that complies.
No, it's a little short. Okay. What date? Where were you living on that date, or where did this happen?
1026 Walsh Street,
Is that
Lansing,
in the city
Michigan.
of Lansing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ingham County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what did you do that was considered an unwanted touching?
We had got in an argument. I was in a hallway. She tried to get out the room. I was standing there. She tried to walk through me. I pushed her back, and that was it.
Okay, it was, when you pushed her back, that was not in self-defense, correct?
No.
Okay, and she didn't give you permission, or she didn't want you to touch her?
No, she did not give me permission.
Okay, Mr. Marshall, any additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis, will accept your plea, find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter is set for sentencing. June 18th. June 18th at 9 a.m. in the morning in person at the court. Actually, no, you can appear via Zoom for that. However, you do need to report in person to our probation department within 48 hours of today. So you need to be there no later than Thursday at, I'll give you until 2:30, so that they can get you scheduled and set up for your pre-sentence interview, okay?
Thursday, 2:30.
Yeah, you can come anytime before then. You can come today, you can come tomorrow, but it has to be no later than Thursday at 2:30 so they can get you set up for your pre-sentence interview. They will also advise the court when they produce the pre-sentence investigation report as to whether or not you are eligible for status under 769.4A, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
If at the time of your sentencing I decide to deviate from your agreement, I would give you the opportunity to withdraw your plea. If you don't have any questions from the court, any additional matters? For the
No, ma'am.
record, counsel.
Nothing from the people.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set. Mr. Marshall, I think that's all we have. The first arraignment did not appear.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.